Hey everybody, Dan Lobby here with Lance Reisland. As you know, on Sunday, Deshaun Watson was sacked 7 times. We have talked a lot about the protection issues up front. That was an issue on Sunday. It's not always offensive line protection, though. Sometimes it's scheme, sometimes it's the quarterback himself. Lance is going to show us 2 plays here, one of each. We're going to start with the scheme causing an issue on one of the sacks.
All right, let's take a look at scheme and how scheme and what the coaches call, how that's influencing some of these sacks the Browns have. So let's take a look at this play, a sack on Deshaun Watson from both angles, both the sideline and the end zone. So it starts off with what Watson should know it's man coverage because as Cooper goes in motion, you're going to see the corner bump over. So now you have these 3 guys, right? These 3 guys are going to have these 3 guys once they're over here. That is an indicator to Watson. He also has these 2 backers walked up. He has the corner over top of Njoku. And right now, you can see the safety. He's walking up on this side because he's got the back if the back was to release. Or they'll banjo it where he'll take the back and he'll take the tight end. But they have 2 for 2 over here. Now, as you get over here, you're going to see the routes. And here's the issue you have from a scheme perspective. So most of the time, it's the offensive line or the quarterback. But here's where scheme really hurts the Browns. You're going to get Cooper on a vertical. You're going to get Judy on a little whip route coming back inside, and you're going to get Elijah Moore on a deep out, and Njoku clears it. But as you can see, they're going to bring a 6-man pressure, and there's nowhere to for Deshaun Watson to go with the football. So as you can see, there's no in-breaking routes. There's no hot routes. There's nothing that allows him to get the ball off. Now, as you can see, as he's ready to throw with a 6-man pressure, there's nowhere to go with the football. So sometimes he misses, sometimes the offensive line miss, but this is a scheme issue. There's nowhere for him to go with the ball. Now let's take a look at the same play from the end zone. So as you can see, there's a 6-man pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got Luvu and you got Wagner. Here's another part of the scheme issue that makes it tough. The Browns know they're bringing 6 and they do a good job. Jones is going to kick out to 1. Batonio is going to go 2. Ford's going to block Luvu, who's 3. You got Posick, who's going to slide out to 4, right? Batonio is going to slide out to 5, and you're going to get Wills is going to slide out to 6. The problem is Luvu's 240 pounds. Ford is 200 pounds. So he is going to just drive Ford back in. Then Wagner's going to beat Posick because Wagner's big. And then one's going to win inside. And what ends up happening is, as you can see, there's too much ground here. Luvu's going to blitz, and he's going to drive Ford right back into it. So if you go back to what we said, this is what Watson's seeing with no one in the middle of the field to catch the ball. And it ends up being a sack because there's no one left. So as you can see, when he's ready to throw the football, there's no one open. There's no one breaking to the middle of the field. It ends up being a sack, 1 of 7. Now, some of the sacks are on the offensive line. Some are on Watson. This one's on the scheme.
All right, Lance, so that was an example of the scheme causing a problem. Now let's look at a sack that Deshaun Watson caused on himself.
All right, so now let's take a look at Deshaun Watson and his miss inside the red zone and a sack he took. So again, offensive line, scheme. Now this one's on Watson. So you got down in the red zone, you're going to get a defensive look here. You're going to get the Commanders are going to be in an umbrella defense. So it's a zone, but umbrella kind of tells you down here in the red zone, these guys are going to jump guys that come into their zone because of the short area for the touchdown. So the Browns are going to line up in a reduced split, which tells you they're either going to run outs or crossers, right? So Cooper is the guy that the Commanders are focused on. So as we get going here, focus on this safety and this middle linebacker. Now, what really messes Watson up is look at where he's at as the play starts. As you can see, you're going to get an out. Cooper is going to drive across. You're going to get Njoku, who's going to run an arrow. You're going to get Tillman's going to run to the back of the end zone, be an outlet, and you're going to get Judy, who's going to cross. So what Watson is reading is these 2 crossers on these 2 safeties. Now, as the crossers go, the problem is Watson takes a 5-step drop, which I don't understand. So if it's scheme, it's wrong, or if it's Watson who takes a 5-step drop, when Judy comes open, he's not ready to throw the football because he took 5 steps. This is a catch and throw, or it's a quick 3-step drop. So you're ready to deliver in this window immediately. So as you can see, as Cooper crosses, both the safety and the linebacker both jump Cooper, which in the umbrella kind of makes a hole in the umbrella. You got a corner here who's going to take this, a safety who's taking away Tillman. You got this corner who's going to jump Njoku. And for some reason, because it's Cooper, and that's the Browns' #1 guy, safety and the linebacker both jump. Now, if Watson's got his eyes where they should be through the middle of the field, he would see Jeudy come wide open. As the play continues now, even as he scrambles up, you're going to see Jeudy change direction. There's still a big window. So what he's got to do a better job of keeping his eyes up during his scramble, because as you can see this window, Jeudy is wide open, and if he could just get his head up, he could shot put the ball out here for a touchdown. So again, we talk about linemen, we talk about scheme, and now this one's on Watson.